Hi, my name is Jim Smith. I'm the president and CEO of McKinsey Books, Inc., and we operate a website called cashforbooks.net. That's cash with the number 4 books.net, where we buy and sell used college textbooks online. Today I'm talking about how to hire on Odesk. 8 tips for small business owners. So Odesk has become extremely popular these days for small to medium-sized businesses, and I use it quite a bit. And it's fast, easy, convenient. It's very affordable to find great talent. And one of the great things is that talent can be anywhere in the world. I've hired people in my own state, in Oregon here. I've hired people in Texas, but I've also hired internationally, such as South Africa. I hired a software developer there. I've hired in India, Philippines, Ukraine, and a lot of other countries as well. Types of positions I've hired for, just to name a few: QA usability engineer, software developer in multiple languages, Java. I've hired in Java, PHP, Objective-C for iPhone apps, and a few others. Graphic design, data entry, blog writing, and online research. Just to name a few. I mean, the categories and subcategories that you can hire for are, pretty extensive here. And you can drill into subcategories as well. So pretty good selection in terms of what you can hire for. Odesk is really a great way to save some money over using traditional staffing agencies, and it's really got, I think, staffing agencies scared. And as the traditional staffing agency is just behind the times. They don't have the powerful feedback rating system that Odesk has, just that transparency, so you can really see, you really can trust who you're hiring. You can see, read their feedback and their ratings. So let's dig into how do we go about hiring on Odesk, and I have some experience I can share from that. Been hiring on Odesk a few years now, hired quite a few people, screened out hundreds. So the first thing is that we really want to put a good title here and spend some time, thinking about a good title. Think of yourself like an advertiser. You really want this to be descriptive. You want to draw people's attention to it. You want people to click on. You want good quality talent to click on your job. So you want them to be able to click on your job title, and then secondly, once they click through, what's the first thing they're going to read? And that needs to grab their attention as well, and additionally be very descriptive about exactly what you want. So number one is a job title. Number two, the second tip, is be very descriptive about exactly what you want done. Create a bulleted list in here. A bulleted listing, just use an asterisk or something like that right there, and start, the job, it must, whatever you're making or creating, it must have X, Y, and Z. So, list that out. X, Y, and Z, whatever your X, Y, Z is. Whatever you're making, or whatever you're building, or whatever new product or service, or what research you're having them work on. So that's really important. The better you explain it, the better they will understand it, and the better your experience on Odesk is going to be. Another powerful thing that I've used right in the description is I'll create a YouTube video. I'll hop over to YouTube, or actually what I'll do is I'll use Snagit. Snagit is a great tool. It's made by the people at TechSmith, techsmith.com. You can find Snagit, and I've used Snagit to create a video screen capture of exactly what I need done. So, for example, I might have some online research that I want done, and they're doing data entry into a Google Doc, for example. So, I'll walk them through kind of some first steps. It's almost, in a way, it becomes a training video as well, and it's a way to describe what work needs to be done. But later, once you hire them, it's like that the training's 90% done, because you have this great YouTube video, this screen capture. So I recommend Snagit. There's a 30-day free trial, and then it's reasonably priced to purchase the product. Number 4 tip on how to hire an Odesk is to ask some questions here, right on the job post. You can say, to apply for this position, please answer the following questions. And then list out, 1, 2, 3. And you'd be surprised how many people don't answer the question. So that becomes a way to screen your applicants later. It is a way for you to know, are they serious? Have they read the whole job description? Or are they just throwing canned responses? Are they using the spray and pray technique of applying for jobs? Those are people you don't want. You don't want the spray and pray people. You want people that take the time to actually read the description, see if they're qualified, see what the job's about, and answer the questions about the job. Number 5 tip is feedback. There's no reason to hire anyone on Odesk that has a feedback of less than 4. And make sure that when you hire someone that they have, if you open up the advanced options down here, you want people that obviously have some sort of build some sort of hours on Odesk. Usually I'll set it to either 1 or 100. I'm not too crazy about this, but at least they've billed an hour. They've been paid at least an hour on Odesk, and they have some experience on Odesk already. And so I think that's, especially getting started, how to get started on Odesk, you're going to have a better experience dealing with people that have already worked on Odesk. They know what they're doing. You may not know what you're doing if this is your first time hiring on Odesk, but at least they will. And this is where you want to weed out the people. I'd either set this to 4 or 4.5, and all this will essentially do, it won't keep people from applying. It'll just, like it says, it may notify them that they're at a disadvantage, but this will allow you to filter out. So you can do either 4 or 4.5. It'll allow you to filter out, once the applications start coming in, you can filter out stuff that you can filter out the applicants easier when you use this tool in the advanced options here. Let's see, I think that's those two, that they've billed hours, and sometimes I will use English level depending on what the position is. Sometimes I'll use 4 out of 5, or sometimes 5 out of 5. That's kind of up to you, and it depends on, certainly when you get people overseas, there's different levels of you can tell pretty quickly when they start corresponding with you. You might connect with them over Skype and chat back and forth, and you can usually tell pretty quickly how good their English skills are. So once in a while I've used this. Some of the people on Odesk have taken some tests, but the most important thing is the feedback combined with the hours billed. So that's number 5. Number 6, know how to sort and filter your applicants. So, got some applicants that have come in. We have some applicants here as an example, and there's different ways to sort them. I like best match, because that's going to tell you right here, have they met your qualifications such as feedback score, English level, have they billed at least an hour, and there's agency contractors or independent contractors, so I'll sometimes use that qualification as well. So that's best match, and the people that meet the most qualifications will be sorted to the top. I will also use, sometimes I'll sort by feedback, so you can see the people with the highest feedback, like this person has a 5 and they build over 1,000 hours. So that is, that's really impressive. However, this person has a 5, but they're new to Odesk, so you may want to stay away from this person just because they they're so new. 100 plus hours at 4.93. That's also very, very good. So sorting by feedback, there is also, sometimes I'll sort by Odesk hours as well, just to see what are some of the really power contractors that have been on Odesk a long time, and looking at their feedback as well. Because if they have a lot of hours combined with really high feedback, to me that's the really cream of the crop there. Next thing is to when you're reading what the contractor has said in their when they apply for the position, obviously you want to see, first thing, did they answer your questions? That was from tip number 4. So tip number 7 is look for contractors that ask questions. I love it. I love it when contractors actually ask me questions about the job. Even when we connect over Skype, if they ask me specific questions about the job, that really shows they're interested in the position. They're not, and if they ask questions in here, it shows me that they're not just using a canned template in the application. You can spot those fairly easily. If they're saying something specific like, I watched your video and I'm interested in whatever, that to me is fantastic. That's a great way to, okay, you have people that have billed hours, they have great feedback, they've answered your questions, and they've asked their own questions. Those things all together find the best people. And last tip number 8, if you're still a little unsure, you can give the contractor a test drive. You can hire more than one contractor for the same job. So for example, you could hire them for 5 hours or even less and have them complete some sort of a small task. See how they do with it. See how is their communication, how responsive are they, and so on. And then just go from there. You can, once you hire someone, Odesk will let you say how many hours are they allowed to bill this week, and that's something that you have control over. So that's my how to hire on Odesk 8 tips for small business owners. I hope you enjoy that, and good luck in your Odesk hiring. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any other questions or other tips you'd like to share, please leave a comment below. Thank you.